Welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy days to watch this video. Today I'm going to be discussing Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I went into Elantris not knowing much about it other than it was Brandon Sanderson's first work. Some people had warned me to take that into consideration, that it flowed a little bit differently than some of his later works. Elantris follows the story of the city of Elantris, in case you couldn't tell by the cover. This city is inhabited by Elantrians, of course, who you become an Elantrian by basically something being the Hoid, I'm not for sure how you pronounce it, it's H-O-E-D, taking you, and this transforms you into almost like an elf, except without the pointy ears, and your skin glows silver, you have white hair. All Elantrians were very beautiful, and all Elantrians had access to this magic system that was controlled by drawing aeons, I think, aeons, however you pronounce that. In case you haven't noticed by now, pronunciation is not my strong suit. Suddenly, something happened, and when the Hoid or Hoid, or however you would like to say it, took people, instead of transforming them into Elantrians, it basically turned into a sickness. All your hair would fall out, your skin would get really wrinkly and splotchy like that of an old person, and the city of Elantris basically fell into disrepair. It started decaying at a huge rate. It was covered in all this slime, and the country where Elantris was located basically put all the fallen Elantrians in their own city and tried their best to forget about them. The story takes place 10 years later, when this country realizes it needs allies, because the Elantrians were basically the only thing keeping people from invading. So there's a marriage contract drawn up between them and a neighboring kingdom to marry off their prince to this other kingdom's princess. The prince is called Rodin, or Raodin, however you pronounce that, and the princess is Serene. However, as Serene is traveling to meet Rodin and to be married to him, the Hoid takes Rodin and he becomes an Elantrian. However, the king, his father, instead of telling people, throws his own son into the city secretly and instead claims that he died suddenly. So Serene gets to this foreign land with her betrothed dead. However, in the contract it's written that if one party was to die before the wedding, they were to be considered married anyways. About the same time that Serene arrives, there's also this high priest from this country, it's called a Gorn, I believe is how you pronounce it, and his name is Harathian. Harathian's a pretty cool character. Harathian has been sent by this country to convert the people, otherwise there will be a military takeover. This country has kind of forged an empire using religion as a way to control people and topple governments. So Serene, who is a very strong female character, I really like her. I am very impressed with how Sanderson is able to write his female characters. Between Serene in this book and then in the Mistborn trilogy, he seems to have a very good grasp of writing strong female characters that are at the same time very believable. Serene was a very amazing character, and I found Serene a lot more believable than I did Rodin. Even though I liked Rodin and I liked his storyline, Serene to me was a lot more interesting. Serene is not exactly certain what the Gorn Harathian is up to, but she decides that she is going to oppose him because she's very much against the religion that he's promoting, and she also knows that wherever this religion goes, the governments tend to topple. At the same time, Rodin, who's been thrown into Elantris, is very much shocked and kind of dismayed by what he finds in the city. The people are basically aimless, mindless, almost zombie-like, and he decides to try and change that. He also starts investigating, trying to figure out what changed around Elantris, and so on and so forth. It was a pretty good book. It is a little bit slower than some of Sanderson's other novels that I've read. This is only my 5th Sanderson novel, and I enjoyed it. However, there is a lot of like political maneuvering, which tends to be a little bit slower. At the very end of the book, Sanderson goes from 0 to 60 at just an incredible speed, and I don't know why his endings continue to blow me away. I should be expecting them, but they're always just absolutely incredible. I would not read this if you have never read any other Brandon Sanderson before. I would definitely recommend Mistborn first. However, if you're a Brandon Sanderson fan and you have not read Elantris, I think you can very much enjoy it, even though it lacks some of the speed and enthusiasm of his other books. If any of y'all have read Elantris or are thinking about reading Elantris, feel free to give me your thoughts about it. I would be very interested to hear them. You are welcome to like, comment, subscribe, or any combination of the above. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.